All right, how is it going, everyone? 8th of May. It is Thursday. We're going to check out some of the pairs, and we're going to go through some of the setups. We had Fed interest rate decision yesterday, so we may have something going on now. Don't forget, by the way, we've also got news for the British pound later today. But anyways, I'm just gonna give it a couple of minutes, about 5 minutes for people to actually join. Before that, though, I have to make sure I send a quick message on Telegram and on Twitter as well. So this is what I'm gonna do right now. Hopefully, in the meantime, some more people join to watch the live session. So let me do that. Okay. Almost done. And by the way, for those of you who have not yet joined the free Telegram channel, make sure to do so. Just send a quick message to everyone in the free Telegram. We've got over 3,200 people. You can find the link in the description below this stream, below this video. Um, you're not only going to get notified every time I do a live session, but I also send out very important information in there, and it's completely for free, so you don't risk anything really. Um, just gonna give it a couple more minutes. We're gonna go through euro, dollar, pound, dollar, gold, and we normally look at euro yen and pound yen, but um, like I said in the premium Telegram channel earlier today, because I've already sent out the video about 2 hours ago. Um, the euro yen and pound yen cross pairs are currently not the best opportunities that we have, I think, because we have euro dollar and pound dollar, and we also have dollar yen. So instead of EJ and GJ, I would be looking at dollar yen instead. But this is the way I view it. It really depends on your strategy and what are your best performing pairs, all right? Because you may not usually trade euro dollar and pound dollar. Instead of that, you may be trading euro yen and pound yen, right? But when you know what is going on with the majors and, let's say with dollar yen as well, you can pretty much build an idea around, this analysis to kind of know what to do and how to react and what to look for on the yen cross pairs. Uh, so again, even if I'm not looking at a certain pair that you trade and it's not on my watch list, this is totally fine because I'm most likely looking at pairs which are positively or negatively correlated with the pairs that you trade. But anyways, when it comes to the premium Telegram channel, by the way, I've got about 20 instruments. So it is very likely that I'm going to cover the instruments that you are trading. Um, and you're going to get notified and you're going to get an update about a 10-minute long video every single day from Monday to Friday, where I lay out the plan for the day ahead, and I'm sending out those videos on a daily basis, so you will know what are the key levels, what I'm expecting to see on all of those instruments right here, and you're going to be aware of every setup that I'm looking at. And of course, if you have your own strategy, this is even better because knowing what is the market direction and what are the key levels on all of those instruments, you're going to be able to find more profitable trades. Just trading becomes a lot more easier as long as you follow and watch the daily videos that I send in the premium Telegram channel. And if you're not ready to commit that much, you can, like I said, join the free Telegram. This is where every single day I'm sending out analysis on euro dollar only. But again, if you are trading, let's say not euro dollar, but pound dollar or Aussie dollar, when you know what is going on with EU, well, you pretty much know what to expect on the rest of the major pairs as well. This is what I'm trying to say here. But anyways, should we start or should we give it a couple of more minutes? It's only been 4 minutes since I started this stream, or about 7 minutes actually. But yeah, if we start off from the higher time frames, I don't yet have anything on the 4 hour chart. Obviously, it looks like we're pushing down, but if you look at the 4 hour time frame, we are trading at this massive support right here. So if we drop down to a 5 or a 15-minute time frame, I am expecting to see some sort of a reaction around current price levels. Now, even if you want to go short, it's probably not the best idea, or at least not the best moment to do that, because looking at the 4 hour time frame, we are trading at this support right here. If we look at the 1 hour chart, I see that we managed to break below this most recent low. Okay, and obviously we've got the moment of the news with this candle right here, long rejection wicks on both sides. We then managed to break out of that. We were on our way back, okay, and I really wanted to see if we're going to be able to break and close above the news candle from yesterday. Well, that didn't happen, and right now we're pushing down. However, I still do not want to rush in any trades because looking at the bigger picture, 4 hour time frame, we are trading at this support. So even if we are about to break below this support right here, even if we're going to see price below those values, we're most likely going to see some reaction here on the 5-minute time frame, right? So I don't want to rush with any entries. If we look at pound dollar, of course it's very bearish, but if I'm going to be looking to sell, I think I mentioned this in the previous live session, which was a couple of days ago, and this is still the case. If I'm going to be going short, I'm going to pick euro dollar. If I want to go long, which is the main trend direction, well, I'm most likely going to pick pound dollar, all right? So we'll see how it goes. For now, we are gaining some more bearish momentum. But I don't want to rush with any entries here on the majors. By the way, you guys let me know if you can hear me well, or do I need to turn the volume up on my mic, just because I'm not sure what's going on. But anyways, we then have gold, which this is the 4 hour time frame, and it's looking pretty bullish. So like I said earlier today, again in the premium Telegram channel, we did this move right here. We made this move to the upside, of course, breaking above some previous structure right here. And we now, that's also thanks, and we now have this pullback. So even if there is going to be some bearish price action here, I'm really not expecting to see price breaking below this low right here. This is a major low on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, now the market already had a chance to drop even further to the downside, so I was expecting to see at least a retest of this previous high, because you know that would have made a lot of sense. We've got this massive impulse. I then wanted to see a little bit of a deeper pullback here down to around 3,160. That didn't happen, and we not only had a retracement right here. Not only that, but we managed to gather some bullish momentum, breaking above some previous highs as well. So right now, all I'm expecting to see is bullish continuation. So I've got this area right here. I've got a couple of them actually. So you know the gray area is based on the Fibonacci retracement from point A up here to point B, and then I also have Fibonacci expansion in the opposite direction right here, point A, B, C, and it gives me this green area right here. So I'm really, I mean, we've got this support area made out of two zones, which I actually think is a pretty strong area. And looking at the 15-minute time frame, we can already notice how price reacts around this zone. Um, you know, I'm definitely not going to be looking to sell, but maybe I need some more confirmation right here. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to rush into any trades yet, because this right here is just not enough for me to enter a long trade, right? Especially when we are, you know, in such a strong pullback, because you know this is obviously a pullback, but as you can see, we managed to gain some strong momentum to the downside. All right, so let's see how it goes. At the end of the day, this is gold, so I'm not going to be surprised if we see something like this. I mean, a move to the upside immediately after this bearish impulse. It's not going to be anything that we haven't seen before. So you know, let's be patient and see how it goes. And by the way, I believe we've got news for the British pound today as well. Just want to see what time they're coming out. Probably, you know, just as usual, but let me just pull it up on the screen right here so we can all see that. There we go. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Make sure that you pick your correct time zone. This is not mine, but this is totally fine. And we've got Bank of England's interest rate decision later today. So if you are going to be looking for potential trading opportunities on the pound or any pound pair, well, this is something that you may want to be aware of, right? But yeah, pretty strong bearish momentum right here in the beginning of this session. Um, let's see how it goes. You know, the one that I'm most interested in is gold, because really want to be able to catch the next bullish move right here. But first I need to make sure that this pullback has ended. So what we can do is, you know, there are a couple of scenarios. Probably the best one is to obviously look at the higher time frames. So just wait and see what's going to happen on the 1 and the 4-hour chart. We've got the 4-hour time frame right here. If this 4-hour candle closes all the way up here and it turns into a bullish candle, well, this is going to be a very strong signal, right? Uh, and then if you look at the 1-hour time frame, I would need to see more price action here. Now, this candlestick pattern right here, I do like this one, but if that would have happened on the 1-hour time frame, that would be enough for me to probably enter a trade, right? Um, but seeing this on the 15-minute time frame, and it's only the first 15 minutes of the session, I really don't want to rush in any trades. And there's no such thing as, you know, a missed entry or anything like this, because price will always give you another chance to enter a trade. So let's say if you see a strong momentum right here, you could have managed to enter a trade at the beginning of the move, and now you're fuming because you missed the trade. This is not true, because at the end of the day, you just have to wait for a bit of a pullback. Again, you have to find, a specific zone within this move right here. Pick a zone and then just wait for price to pull back to that area. Once it pulls back, if it gives you another entry, this time you're not supposed to. You shouldn't miss that entry, right? So you've got to be very flexible um, with your analysis. Of course, it's the most important thing is to have a step-by-step plan, because you will know how to react in every situation. But with time, with more experience, you're going to be able to, you know, to afford late entries, as some people call it, or to kind of tweak your strategy. Um, as you're looking at the chart, and it really depends how many pairs you're trading. I would definitely say, stick to less pairs, maybe even less time frames, which means you have to be a lot more patient. But that also probably means you're going to be more likely you're going to be more profitable as well. The less you trade, the better. And when it comes to the yen cross pairs, my original idea was that we're going to see a little bit of a pullback and then a continuation to the downside, but we'll see how it goes, because we then have dollar yen with a very similar setup. And I don't know, for now it looks like we're bearish on the majors, but if price action reverses and it goes back bullish, then I really don't want to be selling euro or pound. And if you're going to be going short on euro yen or pound yen, you're essentially selling euro or pound. uh, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna place a horizontal level right here on uh, this support, and this is the level around 1.1265, 1.1260. This is pretty much what I'm looking at right now. This is quite a strong level. You can see how many times price has reacted to that same level. So we're most likely going to see the same thing right now as well. I'm gonna leave my Telegram link right here in the chat box here on the live stream. If you guys have any setups, if you currently have any trades, even if they are on pairs that I'm not looking during those live sessions, feel free to send them over. I can pull up on the screen and we can check them out together. There's also something else as well. If, let's say, I find a good entry here on gold, I enter a long trade, price goes in my favor, and then if I see a sharp move to the downside, I'm most likely going to close my trade at break even, or I'm even happy to close my trade into a little bit of loss in order to avoid full stop loss. Because once that move starts going to the upside, I would be expecting pretty strong move, and for price to very quickly at least retest the previous high right here. And if it doesn't happen, then this is not going to be a good signal for me. So I'm probably not going to be holding my trade for much longer. Most of my trades, especially if I'm looking for entries on the 5 to 15-minute time frame, most of my trades are just before a momentum. So I kind of know if I enter a trade and a momentum doesn't kick in, and I'm staying around break even, that trade is probably not going to be a profitable one. So I would, what I would do now is I would close my trade if it doesn't go in my favor almost immediately. All right, because this is what I'm looking for. I've got a pretty strong area. If we're talking about this case here on gold specifically, so I am expecting as soon as price drops into this zone right here, I want to see a move in the opposite direction, because I'm expecting that there are going to be loads of orders in this zone. So if it doesn't happen, and price is hovering around my entry for a long period of time, I'm just going to close my trade and wait for another entry. And of course, there are risks with that as well. Let's say you enter a trade, price is trading sideways for a couple of hours. I decide to close my trade, and right after I close my trade, I see that momentum coming in. It has happened many times, but I feel like this is what I prefer, rather than knowing that I have to close my trade, but hoping that the market will give me that momentum. And instead of that, price just stops me out, right? So I would much rather close my trade at break even, see that momentum, then wait for another pullback, and then enter again on the, on that pullback. And plus, in this case, I now have a confirmation that my analysis is right, right? Because I've already seen that move to the upside. And if you want to be a conservative trader, this is probably the best way to do it. I don't know how conservative you could be if you're trading the lower time frames, but anyways, I can already see some rejection forming up here on pound dollar and on euro dollar as well. In this case, euro dollar is actually looking much better than pound dollar, even though pound dollar was much stronger in the past few days when price was going up. You can clearly see that with this momentum right here after the news. We didn't have that much of a momentum on euro dollar. What do you guys trade? Do you currently have any setups? It's your turn now. Because like I said, gold is the only one that, I mean, I do like the setups in euro dollar and pound dollar, but when we look at the higher time frames, if I drop down to a lower time frame, I don't think I should be looking for any entries here. But gold is the one which I kind of like the most at the moment, because even the lower time frames could provide some decent opportunities. These are my favorite type of setups right here. Taking out previous low, knowing that the market direction is bullish, and having a signal like this on the higher time frames. These are my favorite type of setups. But if I have to be honest, in this case specifically, knowing that we're trading in the range, I mean, it makes sense because you are the support of the range. So the way the range works, like everybody knows, is that you test support, you go back to resistance. You test resistance, you go back to support, right? Um, this is not an interesting signal. I'm not saying that we should enter a long trade right now, but setups like this I do like the most. And by the way, this I did a free PDF book explaining how this strategy works. So if you haven't seen it, let me just, in fact, I can actually send a link for you guys to download this ebook right now. So here it is. Check out the chat box here on the live stream. I just sent it. It's a completely free ebook. It's a PDF. You can check out some trading examples in it. I think it's very, very valuable. Yeah, you're welcome, Mikhail. We haven't got a Bulgarian version, but I'm sure you're gonna be fine. I did that mostly because, obviously I'm explaining all that information in some of our courses, but a ton of people are asking, what kind of strategies we trade and stuff like that. And this is not the main trend line strategy that we use. And when I say trend line, I mean our team. I don't mean that we use trend lines in technical analysis, right? But anyways, this is not the main strategy that we use, and it's not the main strategy from all the courses, but it's definitely a strategy from one of our most recent courses on smart money trading. Uh, but I would say it's probably, even though it's very easy and very simple strategy, easy to understand, for complete beginners, maybe not so much. But for those of you who are complete beginners, obviously you can go and check out our free beginners course. It's a full-blown course teaching you the basics of Forex trading. All you got to do is go to trendlineforex.com, sign up on our website completely for free, and then you get access to not just one, but I think three completely free courses. One of those courses is on how to use the Volatility Expert Advisor. If you've seen some of my most recent videos on YouTube, not the live sessions, but the videos, there was one yesterday as well. I'm talking about the Volatility Expert Advisor in those videos. So if you want to learn how it works in details, you can go through the course. It's completely free, and that's where I'm sharing what kind of strategies work best with the Volatility Expert Advisor, what kind of results you can expect, and stuff like that. A lot of people are also asking, how much money do I need to start using the Expert Advisor? All that information is in the course, so make sure to go and watch it. We do see some pretty decent rejection, around the previous lows here on euro dollar and on pound dollar as well. Um, Not a lot of movement on gold yet, but that doesn't bother me at all. I know gold is a different kind of pair, so it can quickly reverse without really giving us any signals as well. some bullish price action here on the yen cross pairs as well. But like I said, dollar yen is probably looking better than euro yen and pound yen, even though it's pushing up right now. So we've got a major high here on dollar yen at 145.90. Are we going to break above that? I don't think so. So we're most likely going to see that reversal around current price levels, or maybe a little bit higher, because we've got this momentum candle right here. So this is most likely going to send price a little bit higher, but we'll see how it goes. Do you guys have any questions regarding some of my latest videos, live sessions that I'm doing, free Telegram channel, courses, anything? Do you want me to look at any other pair? I haven't had trades on Aussie dollar for a long time, but I don't mind. We can check it out. You know, I used to trade Aussie dollar and even Aussie yen as well, but with time I've decided to reduce the pairs that I trade. So instead of the Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollar, I only look at euro dollar and pound dollar. Um, Well, we should see that upside continuation here. What time frames do you normally trade? Do you want me to check out the lower time frames? It's obviously best to look at the higher time frames, but for me, it would be much better if we come down here to reject this those previous lows. I just know this is a much stronger area. Uh, we do have an area where price currently is because we're obviously retesting this, and also we've got some Fibonacci levels right here, and we can already see some sort of rejection happening on the 4-hour charts. But if we manage to come down a little bit lower and retest the previous lows and all that, this is going to push price back up pretty strong. So ideally, I want to see price all the way down around 0.6350 or 0.6360, anywhere down here. And if that happens, then yeah, why not? I could potentially look for buying opportunities. But um, right now, even if I see a reaction to the upside, even if I see price going bullish, I don't know whether it will actually manage to continue all the way up here and be able to break above the previous high, or it may just form a move to the upside short term and then continue to the downside to head down towards the lows here that we can see on the 4-hour chart. But even where we are currently trading, it's pretty strong area as well, because obviously we've got all this market reaction before around the same levels. And this is where we are trading right now as well. So what's going to make me look for buying opportunities here is probably, let's say, a nice bullish momentum candle on the 1-hour time frame. Because what we see right now is, yes, we are rejecting this level, but also before that, we had a strong downside move breaking below this low. And not only that, but we then had a little bit of a pullback, and then we have a strong downside momentum again. So that actually suggests that we're probably going to continue lower. And we have very similar price action on euro dollar and pound dollar. So that's why, even though I think we're most likely going to bounce off this support right here, I don't really want to enter any long trades. Because at the end of the day, if you look at what price action does, is we have a couple of bearish momentum moves, uh, one after another. And if we're looking at the lower time frame and still want to take a buy trade, at least wait for some higher structure. So you have a low. If price creates a higher low and it gives you some confirmation right here, you can give it a try. You can enter a long trade as price is going up. As it breaks above some previous structure, just move your stops to break even. So in this case, you're going to be protected if price falls in a sharp move. You're going to get out of break even. And then if it gives you another entry again, that means you have to re-enter that trade again. This is the thing with the lower time frames. You've got to be ready to re-enter again and again. Sometimes you may have to make 3-4 entries before you actually get in at the right time. So if you have 3 or 4 consecutive losses, how much of your account are you going to lose? This is the thing with the lower time frames. It's there. I mean, you can be profitable trading the lower time frames, but you have to be even more disciplined, even more strict with your risk management. So yeah, that's what I think about Aussie dollar. All right, pretty decent reaction so far here on gold. Yep, you're welcome, mate. And 4 hour candle is definitely looking good. Let me check out next week's events. See what we have coming up next week. 11th still, yep, that's right, that's the one. I'm looking at high impact only. Employment change on Tuesday, that's fine. Okay, we've got CPI as well coming up on Tuesday. Yep, we do have some news next week as well. Now, if there is some retracement here on gold, and if I see price breaking below this, we then either want to see an immediate reaction back to the upside, okay, or if we have a clear break and close, this is supposed to be a bearish candle, right? If we have a clear break and close below this low, well, we're most likely going to continue a little bit lower as well. So no rush with the long entries here on gold. And this is the 15-minute time frame, by the way. I've only been doing live sessions during London. I haven't done one during the US session yet. So, do you guys think I should do that? I really don't know. I should test it because in this channel here we've got subscribers from all over the world. So I don't know what hours are the most optimal ones for me to do a live session. But I should give it a try and do one in the afternoon as well. And many times you will see me analyzing pairs and potential setups during London session. Nothing comes up, but then later on throughout the day, those setups um, are kind of that's when they work out because not every time you're gonna have a lot of movement during the US session, during the London session, excuse me. And then whatever we talk about in the London session happens during the US session. Um, so I can give it a try and do a late one as well. So it's still got about 7 minutes, well, less than 7 minutes until that 1 hour candle closes. And even though we've got some reaction here on God, it's just not enough for me to be able to enter a long trade. I do like what we have on euro dollar and on pound dollar. Um, in this case, euro dollar looks like a better setup than gold, to be honest, because, oops, uh, because this reversal happens after we've taken out, the previous low. And you can clearly see that with those rejection wicks, we're coming down slightly lower than, those wicks right here. So any stop loss orders or any pending orders sitting below those wicks have now been triggered. And maybe this is why we've got this reaction right here. Same thing on pound dollar. You can see how we managed to take out this previous low right here. And you can notice this on the 1 hour time frame. I mean, if you switch over to the 4 hour chart, it's pretty much nothing. All right, we still got a couple of minutes till that 1 hour candle closes. So let me just check out UJ as well, because I'm currently monitoring price action here. I am expecting around current price levels to see that reversal, and I do like what I see on the 1 hour time frame, but we've got a pretty strong bullish candle before that, so I'm not going to rush with the entries here as well. But technically we've taken out some highs, right? And this is where we had the last I mean, this is the beginning of the last bearish move that we had, this one right here. So we've just taken out this structure, okay? But let's see how it goes, because we still, you know, we are still bullish. If we go short, we're basically hoping to pick the top, and this is not what you're supposed to do. So I'm not gonna rush with UJ, but keep an eye on this one. We've got a pretty decent reaction here on pound dollar and on euro dollar. And we also have a pretty decent reaction on gold. It's just not enough for me to start looking for buying opportunities. I mean, I am looking, but to, let's say, essentially enter a buy trade, just not enough yet. Maybe if we create some higher structure here, you know, then that would make more sense. But for now, we can easily drop very quickly as well. So I think I'm going to leave it here. Again, if you guys have not yet joined the free Telegram channel, make sure to do so. There are links in the description below the video. So we've got free Telegram, we've got a free email newsletter. This is where you get updates on some of the positions or some of the setups that we look at throughout the week, and you will get that update every single Monday. So make sure to subscribe to our email newsletter. You can probably find all of those links on our website as well, trendlineforex.com. And don't forget to check out our website. Make sure to sign up. It's completely for free, and you get access to some exclusive content, which is for people that have registered on our website. Free courses, you know, new and updated blog articles all the time. We also have a Forex dictionary. So if you are just starting out with trading and you're still struggling to kind of understand the terms behind the strategies and stuff like that, we were talking about terms like fair value gaps and support and resistance and all of those things. It's all explained in the Forex dictionary on our website. So make sure to check it out, trendlineforex.com. And for those of you, because I've got people asking me about the Volatility Expert Advisor, you can chat to me, you can send me a message. There is a link in the chat box here right now, the first link that I shared. And you can also find me via our free Telegram channel. So you can text me and we can talk about the Volatility Expert Advisor, and I can explain more about how it works. But the best thing to do is to watch the full course, again, completely free course on how to use the Volatility Expert Advisor to make consistent profits. And I've also got videos on YouTube as well. I've actually got about a 40 or 50-minute long video explaining how the Expert Advisor works and why is it better than manual trading. And essentially what we do during those live sessions is looking for manual entries, but I may be looking for manual entries here for the sake of the live session, but I may also be running the Expert Advisor on those same setups, all right? Because you don't really need to be able to pick the right entry when you use the Volatility Expert Advisor. All you need to know is in which direction the market is going to go. And you can then set up the Expert Advisor to start entering sell or buy trades in a specific zone, which is based on your analysis and your trading idea. And of course, if you are still struggling to make your own analysis, or if you're not sure whether your analysis is correct or not, you can join our premium Telegram channel and receive daily video updates, about a 10-minute long video every single morning from Monday to Friday, where I'm explaining these setups for the day ahead. So this is definitely going to improve your trading by a long mile. So I think I'm gonna end it here. Like I said, if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section or send me a message on Telegram, and I will see you guys next time.